Hello and welcome to The Big Fight. Now, as I tweeted a little earlier this week, big fights are best watched on TV, and this show in particular. But for a long period of time, there's been a big fight taking place right here in Delhi between the Delhi government and the LG, and there's all sorts of talk about is that a proxy for a big fight taking place between the centre and the Delhi government, and the whole matter has gone to court, and lots of legal issues have come up which we will not weary you with. What we will spend the next 1 hour, though, discussing are some of the broader issues around all of this. What exactly are the powers that the Delhi government has? What are the powers it should have? Who is in the right in this particular battle? And on the other side, it has been 100 days now of the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi. How has it actually been performing? And is there been too much diversion into other issues, fights both internal and external, as opposed to actual governance? And that's what we're going to take a very close look at. Let me start off by welcoming Ashutosh of the Aam Aadmi Party, who's here. And I'm introducing him first because he's being flanked by two people who were once colleagues of his in the Aam Aadmi Party movement, but are now both with the BJP. Kiran Bedi, who may well have been the Chief Minister of Delhi, dealing perhaps with the very same issues. And I'm going to ask you what you would have done if you were in Mr. Kejriwal's shoes. And Shazia Elmi, thank you so much for joining us. And Ashutosh gets some reinforcement from Kamnita Chenoy, who's been very close to the Aam Aadmi Party and would be endorsing a lot of what Ashutosh says. That's to sort of keep it 2 versus 2 out here on the panel. And Dr. Kiran Wali, I'll come in and tell us how she was a minister in the Delhi government, in the last Delhi government, and how your party actually was able to handle the same issues. And we are going to need some legal advice there, so whom better to get that but R.M. Sundaram, who's one of the top constitutional experts we have in the country, joining us from Chennai. Thank you so much. And a person who was the top bureaucrat in the country as well, T.S.R. Subramanian, who was the former cabinet secretary. So this is as high-powered as we can make it to try and sort out Delhi and all of its problems. Why don't I start with you, Kiran? If you were the chief minister, would you be having the same fight right now as Arvind Kejriwal is having?
Honestly, not.
No?
None at all.
Why not?
Reason is that Delhi has it all. In fact, during my campaign, I was saying, whenever some of your people asked, aren't you looking for Delhi statehood? I said, no, I'll begin with what I have. And as I travel the journey, I'll identify what I don't have and then try and get it gradually, not confrontationally, not by conflict, but start with what I have. That's what I used to say, because every time this was a question asked, statehood, statehood. So that's what I said. Delhi has it all, provided the chief minister respects the hierarchy. He respects the status and position of the lieutenant governor and knows it's a union territory and it knows it's as per the constitution.
So if you were the chief minister, you wouldn't be in this fight? I
wouldn't be in this fight. On the contrary, we would have started governance and moved very fast into many areas which were being said.
Ashutosh?
And connected with the government of India and got everything possible from government of India by collaboration.
Well, you may have had it slightly easier if it would have been a BJP government both in Delhi and at the centre.
No, if you want to take a fight, you can always take a fight, even with that. But the point is, it would have been in alignment. So once you have an alignment, then there's no conflict. So I think I would have started with alignment and gradually see what are the areas to be strengthened.
Okay, Ashutosh.
See, if Kiran has been there, obviously there wouldn't have been any fight because Najeeb Jung wouldn't have been there. And Home Minister wouldn't have tried even to go for the backseat driving. You know, what has been propagated all through it, this is anti-constitutional, this is anti-democratic, and this is also anti-parliament also for three simple reasons. One, the constitution has been violated by Mr. Najeeb Jung, Lieutenant General, by one executive order he violated twice Indian constitution. Anti-democratic for the simple reason because an elected government will not have an option to choose his or her own chief secretary. Forget about other things.
But this is not unnew, right? This has always been the case in Delhi, and you knew this when you were fighting for election in Delhi.
BJP is trying to take a revenge out of the people because BJP didn't, people of Delhi did not elect BJP here, and they just got 3 seats. They can't digest the simple fact. If you remember this, before the elections, 7-8 months, BJP tried to form a government.
You're saying is the BJP taking revenge on the people of Delhi for not voting
100%. If you see 7-8 months prior to the assembly elections, BJP tried to form a government. We caught one gentleman from the senior member of the BJP, caught on camera, offering 4 crores. So it's not something like. So I agree with Kiran Bedi. If she had been the chief minister, but she would not have been there. If she had been a chief minister, there wouldn't have been any fight.
Okay, Shazia, is all a BJP conspiracy to take revenge, A, on the Aam Aadmi Party and B, on the people of Delhi for not voting
You
for
know, is this political rhetoric and narrative has been used so often that it draws a yawn. Everybody is a villain. Aam Aadmi Party suffers from some kind of a persecution complex and oscillates between persecution complex and delusions of grandeur. The same Najeeb Jung was called a Congress agent by the gentleman next to me, my former colleague and friend Ashutosh. Now he's become the viceroy. Now he becomes the viceroy of BJP. So I feel, I think this is quintessential Aam Aadmi Party politics. Manufacture a crisis, perpetuate it, escalate it, and say we are victims, we are martyrs, see we can't do anything. On the one hand, they go all over and say, look what we've achieved in 100 days. We've done this, we've done that. No one else has achieved what we have. On the other hand, they say we've not been able to do anything because centre was an impediment. So, and LG
the
is not here.
politics of victimhood is what she's calling it.
It's
simpler to be a victim and saying what can we do? It is a conspiracy
Everybody's a
against us than to
villain.
govern.
LG is a villain,
We have
bureaucrats
to
are
realize
villains,
two things. BJP
villains.
lost badly in Delhi.
Of course
BJP
they lost
is a
badly.
bad loser.
Yes.
Very, very bad loser because they
No,
thought
we accept
in Delhi.
it. We lost badly.
Let me speak. They thought that Delhi will be a cakewalk like all the 4 states. They couldn't. It's not a defeat. It's a humiliation.
Of course it is.
And the Prime Minister of India can't tolerate a humiliation. And also the BJP President, Mr. Amit Shah, who was thinking that he will get all the 70
playing
seats.
shrink and
The
trying to
fact is-
second guess motives and psychological reasons
think I
right
should
now
be
it's
allowed
not
to
your
speak,
forte
Vikram.
because you're not a shrink or a clairvoyant person. I think let the facts be. Aam Aadmi Party did exceedingly well. Full marks to them. BJP had a crushing defeat
Okay,
and they accepted it. And that's the way it
Your
should be.
view
And Aam
is that
Aadmi
the
Party
crisis
should
is
go
being
and govern.
manufactured by the centre, not by you.
BJP lost badly, so they are taking a revenge. And it's a much bigger fight. In Delhi, we are not asking for a full statehood right now. What we are asking is, whatever is due to us, please give that.
Okay.
They have withdrawn anti-corruption. They have curtailed the powers of anti-corruption
Gopal
bill.
bill, get
can
Swaraj, get the
Shazia, please
CCTV
let me
cameras,
speak.
get
I didn't-
Wi-Fi, get
I-
schools, do all that.
Can I, Ashutosh, on that point, let me come to you, because the Congress did rule Delhi for 15 years. Yes, a lot of the time it was the same UPA government at the centre, although there was a period when Congress was ruling here and it was an NDA government. Is there something unusual that's happening with the Aam Aadmi Party, or is this exactly the same conditions in which the Congress
I think
governed?
the people in Delhi know it's extremely unusual because
It's unusual, you think?
it is what the way they are functioning is unusual.
No, Aam
the
Aadmi-
issue was always there, but there is a method, and the method is that in our time also, for first 5 years, we had the BJP at the center, 1993 to 98, but this is not the way we try to sort the issues out. 1993, the Assembly passed a resolution with all the BJP members also party to it and the Congress party to it that yes, Delhi needs more powers. Delhi needs statehood. That's a commitment from the BJP as well as the Congress. Now the issue is that the Aam Aadmi Party also knew, and it has enshrined in its manifesto, that we will strive for statehood for Delhi. Now that's an important point that I'm making. It's not that Mr. Kejriwal and his company did not know that Delhi does not have powers that be for them to render fully. You know, people's aspirations have to be met with is one issue. But
So you're saying that they
fact is-
knew what
no,
they were getting
no,
into, and you're saying that if the Congress could do it, they should be able to do it too. Is that
I'm
what you're saying?
saying that 2002, again we passed this resolution. Mrs. Dixit went to the central government, the Congress government, and pleaded for it. Now there is a way, whether you fight or you want to be in a combative mode all the time or you deliver. Now this has also been a core point with however charismatic a leader, but you may say you got 67 seats. That does not mean you undermine constitutional provisions.
Okay.
This is a very dangerous thing. It's a brute
Can I-
majority, excuse me, I'll just finish my point, that however much majority you may have, constitution has to be respected and has to be amended the manner in which it has to be amended, not by the way locking up bureaucrats, locking out bureaucrats, disrespecting them, and the kind of the manner in which having whole Delhi sense.
We get the point you're making. Come on, Mr. Chinoy.
I think we should examine the Indian Constitution's basic structure. The word federal, federalism, federation are not in the Indian Constitution. 97 powers are with the union, 66 are in the concurrent list. That means the union can override, and the states have just 47. So this is already a heavily centralized constitution. So I think it is in the interest of having a true federation and dealing with outlying states from the northeast to Kashmir, if we give more power to the states, it is not simply a matter of the state being represented, but the states as a whole, which even the Sarkaria Commission alluded to, though it didn't talk of statehood.
I think the point I'm trying to make is slightly different. I'm saying I get, so you're saying that, look, we need to make changes. I get that. I get that. We can discuss that, we can debate that.
And this is not
the
a big
first
change.
question that we are asking is that...
No, but what I'm saying, Vikram, this is not a very big change. If we get statehood, we will be still as disempowered as almost all the states in India.
Fine. So I'm saying that given we are where we are, and we are where the Aam Aadmi Party knew we would be if the Aam Aadmi Party won the government, it's not a secret that Delhi is not a state. We've always known that Delhi is not a state. So given that...
And we've always known that the big parties have asked for Delhi to be made a state.
Right.
That also is there.
Fine. But given that...
So we only want them to stand by what they say and support us.
So, but I'm saying that till that happens, don't you think that the Aam Aadmi Party should be therefore, I think that's the point which is being made out here, that this is all known. So the Aam Aadmi Party should not be making it into such a confrontation, but be working in other ways to try and get...
No, listen, the confrontation takes two sides. And some of the acts of the Lieutenant Governor, not even consulting with the Chief Minister, is not the way he's supposed to act.
Okay.
So, and mind you, so I think there is a lot that needs to be discussed outside the legal framework, is how is politics functioning in Delhi and who's controlling that politics.
Okay, let me just get out of the politics for two things, and let me turn to our two experts we have out there and get their take on this. Arima Sundaram, let me ask you first, the way the present crisis is working itself out in Delhi, constitutionally to your mind, and look, I have to say right up front, constitutional experts have had different views on this. If you get a list of 10 constitutional experts, they are seeming completely and totally divided. I've heard a lot of people saying the LG is right, a lot of people saying the Chief Minister is right. So with that sort of a rider that people do have different views, what is your particular view, Mr. Sundaram, on what's happening in Delhi?
Vikram, on a lighter vein, when have you ever known two lawyers to agree? So you can rest assured that constitutional experts will disagree. The point is, I think you have to look at a very, very, very fundamental issue. And this fundamental issue, I don't know how far, is being taken seriously when considering this entire problem. Yes, we have a union with federal characteristics. We have autonomy for the states. We have 47 odd subjects in the state list. We have various in the concurrent list. And to a great extent, there is an aim for a reasonable amount of autonomy to the states. But Delhi is not a state for more than one reason. Delhi wears two hats. On the one hand, Delhi wants the similarities of the powers of a statehood. At the same time, please don't forget that Delhi is the center of administration of the entire country. Delhi is a place where the President sits, the Prime Minister sits, Parliament sits, the Supreme Court sits, the Cabinet Secretariat sits. Now Delhi, in a way, has two heads. One is the local administration of Delhi, the other is the national administration. While if a state capital freezes, it could affect that state, so far as Delhi is concerned, it can affect the administration of the entire country. Which is why certain subjects, even when giving the Delhi legislature certain powers, were retained and were not given to the Delhi legislature, because those subjects could have some great effect on the overall administration and the functioning of a central government, which is really governing the whole country.
How does it make
so
a difference?
Please don't
How does
forget,
it make a difference?
It
Mr.
makes
Sundaram,
a very big difference. For example, law and order.
How does it make a difference who
For example,
the Chief
law and
Secretary
order.
is? How does it make a difference who the Chief Secretary is, or whether the police is with the Delhi government or not?
You see, the police makes a very big difference. The Chief Secretary is something which got caught in the crossfire because it was not a subject given. I want you to look at the fundamental. The fundamental is, why were certain subjects kept away? As to whether all those subjects should have been kept away or some of those subjects ought not to be kept away is a totally different issue. But please understand that fundamentally, There is a difference between Delhi and other states, and certain subjects being kept away from the legislature of Delhi is perfectly justified when looking at the fact that Delhi wears two hats.
All right, we get that.
And that is the point I
Mr.
want to highlight.
Right. Mr. Subramaniam, let me come to you then as former Cabinet Secretary of India. This entire question of Delhi would have often come to you. What is your sense of what's happening, and specifically the controversy over who should be appointing or not appointing senior bureaucrats like the Chief Secretary? Is that something which you think it's only correct that the Chief Minister should be appointing and not the LG, or the other way around?
Vikram, I am not a constitutional expert, but I happen to agree with Arvind Sundaram. He says that most people discussing constitution do not agree. I think we should not ask the follow-up questions. We should be very clear in our mind about the fundamentals. Once we are clear about the basics and interrelationship between center, states, center and union territory, etc., rest will flow. There may be minor changes which we may have to do, etc., etc. Now, the first point is that it is not a state. It is essentially a municipality, which it was earlier. In fact, I am not being derogatory, because municipal functions are extremely important. Education, electricity, road, water supply, health, these are the most fundamental things for the people. I am not being derogatory at all. But frankly, as the constitution stands today, there should not have any illusions that they are a full-fledged state. The constitution says that it is a union territory, number one. Number two, the word governor has been wrongly used here. He is exercising his powers not as governor, but as administrator. So this territory is administered directly by Government of India, which is a democratic body. It is not from Korea or from Pakistan. It is not a marauder coming into India. It is our own, and the Sundaram said, Delhi represents the whole of India, 120 crore people. And it is administered by the representative body of 120 crore people, namely the Government of India.
Can I just ask you?
Democratic body. Once you get the basics right, in other words, they are powers given by exception to the state. The state per se has no power. It's by courtesy called a state in the constitution. In effect, it's a municipal board, and therefore you have to say now, three specific areas are excluded. In all other areas, Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs has overriding powers. Once you look at it like this, it is no more a democratic rhetoric. It is now a strategic issue of national importance. We should look at it like that.
Okay, fine. Ashutosh,
See, Vikram, with all due respect to Sundaram and Mr. Subramaniam, whatever they are saying is not relevant today for the simple reason because Aam Aadmi Party is not asking, neither they are pitching for the full statehood right now. That's one. So that the debate is out. Secondly, what we are asking is that Delhi should be run according to the constitution. Whatever is given to us as per constitution should be given. That's how. That's what we are. We are fully aware that Delhi is not a full state. We are aware. We are aware that three things: police, law and order, and land should be with Lieutenant Governor. We are aware. We are aware that the Chief Secretary has to report to Chief Minister and has to report to also to the Lieutenant Governor on these three issues. We are aware of that. What we are demanding is that, according to the constitution, according to the transaction, the business rule 25, very clearly it is mentioned over there, that if there even the files of the police department should go through Chief Minister, Lieutenant Governor is up to Lieutenant Governor to abide by the aid and advice. It is up to him. It is his discretion. It's not. But the file has to go through us. That is very clear. On all other issues, Lieutenant Governor has no other option than to abide by the aid and advice.
Lieutenant Governor will exercise his executive functions to the extent delegated to him by the President in consultation with the Chief Minister.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's his powers.
On these three issues, land, law and order, and police. Let me just complete. On these three issues. But on these three issues also, he has to consult. Whether he is going to abide by the consultation or not, that's his discretion. What I'm saying about the rest of the matter, what is happening over here, the Chief Secretary is to be appointed without the consultation of the Chief Minister and violating Article 239.
So, Mr. Sundaram,